3 years together, a house deposit, future kids named, and even a shared Costco membership, basically millennial marriage. And then, on one random Friday movie night, I found out my forever was busy starring in his own side chick rom-com. It started like any normal Friday. Popcorn, blanket, and Harrison's movie pick, a boring crypto documentary. 45 minutes in, he was passed out on the couch like usual, allegedly exhausted from all his late nights at work. I was about to suggest bed when his phone lit up. Then it lit up again. And again. Unlocked. Right there. Begging me to look. At first, I thought it was some coworker stuff. Then I saw. Miss your touch already. Last night was amazing. Can't wait to see you again tomorrow. My stomach dropped so fast I thought I'd clip through the floor like a glitch in The Sims. 3 years. 3 years. All the promises, the house, the joint Costco runs. Turns out, I was just his emotional Airbnb while he was renting out his heart and apparently other body parts elsewhere. Yes, I did the one thing I swore I'd never do, I scrolled. And oh, Reddit, it was uglier than a Walmart parking lot fight at 2 a.m. hotel meetups. Explicit messages. Photos I wish I could unsee. And the cherry on top. Him messaging about how he didn't want to hurt me. Buddy. You've been raw-dogging betrayal for 2 months, mission accomplished. I wanted to scream. Throw his phone out the window. Smack him awake with it. But instead, I tucked him in with a blanket like I was auditioning for Girlfriend of the Year, then had the quietest panic attack of my life in the bathroom. The next morning, he kissed me on the forehead, made me breakfast, and chatted about paint colors for the house. Meanwhile, I deserved an Oscar for my performance as loving, totally not dying inside girlfriend. Once he left for his gym session, translation, booty call with work project, I called my best friend Sally. We spent 3 hours turning into FBI agents with wine. Credit card records, Uber receipts, hotel charges. It was like watching a highlight reel of my own stupidity. And here's the kicker, I didn't confront him. Not yet. Because something in me snapped. He wasn't just going to get away with this. I wasn't going to let him gaslight me or play the "things just weren't working" card. No. I was going to let him dig his own grave, and then I'd be there with popcorn when he fell in. So I smiled. I cooked his favorite dinner. I even initiated intimacy, which made me want to bleach my soul afterward. And when I mentioned a fake work trip next weekend, he perked up like a kid at Christmas. I knew exactly what that meant, he was planning to invite her over. And when he does, that's when I'll make my move. Remember when I said I'd let Harrison dig his own grave? Yeah, well, by this point, I was basically handing him the shovel, the coffin, and even a playlist for the funeral. When he told me he was late at the office finishing graphics for a presentation, I smiled sweetly, kissed him goodbye, and said, "No problem, babe, I'll save you some dinner." Translation: have fun raw-dogging your coworker, I'll be at home turning into the IRS with better snacks. Because the second he left, I went full forensic accountant. We'd only merged some of our finances about a year ago when we started saving for a house. Big mistake. Within minutes, I found charges for fancy restaurants, boutique wine shops, and, oh, my personal favorite, a jewelry store. Last month. Guess how much jewelry I've gotten from Harrison in the past 6 months? Exactly 0 sparkly surprises. Unless you count the card he handed me for Valentine's Day. That's right, a $4.99 Hallmark while his side chick got diamonds. By Friday, our sacred movie night tradition, the irony hit me like a drunk uncle at a wedding. 1 week earlier, my life imploded during this same cozy routine. Now, Harrison picked another boring tech billionaire documentary. But instead of watching the movie, I watched him. The way he angled his phone away from me. The way his thumbs flew like he was saving the world. Spoiler, he wasn't saving anyone. When he inevitably fell asleep halfway through, classic Harrison, I checked his phone again. Surprise! His work project thread had been wiped. But now there was a brand new chat with DWR. Subtle, right? DWR equals Dina without regrets, apparently. They were making plans for the weekend I was supposedly away on my fake work trip. Which meant Operation Catch Him in 4K was officially underway. See, I told Harrison I'd be in Denver for a healthcare conference. Believable enough since I work in office management. In reality, I'd be crashing at Sally's apartment across town, wine in hand, watching my doorbell camera like it was Netflix. Because yes, I'd secretly installed a camera in our apartment while Harrison was at the gym. Based on their texts, Dina was scheduled to roll up Friday night, probably with an overnight bag and enough bad perfume to fumigate the entire complex. The idea of her in our bed made me want to scrub my brain with steel wool, but it would also give me final, undeniable proof. So while they were planning their little Harrison and Dina weekend, I was planning my own season finale. Send a notarized letter to the escrow company pulling out of the house deal. Transfer every penny of my half from our joint accounts. Keep slowly moving sentimental stuff to Sally's, already in progress. Print out a neat little evidence packet, texts, receipts, screenshots. Prep for the confrontation of a lifetime. People kept suggesting wild revenge plots, burn his clothes, sugar in the gas tank, the usual Reddit greatest hits. But I wanted impact, not pettiness. I didn't want a gotcha. I wanted Harrison to choke on the full weight of what he was losing, me, the house, our future, his dignity, and probably his parents' respect. The hardest part? Pretending everything was normal. Sleeping next to him. Talking about the future. Smiling while he brainstormed dog breeds for the house we'd never buy. Every time he kissed me, I wanted to recoil. Every time he said, "I love you," I wanted to laugh in his face. But I played along, because I wasn't just ending this, I was nuking it from orbit. Sometimes, though, I'd catch myself staring at him. And I'd remember the man who held my hand through my dad's health scare, who surprised me with concert tickets, who once made me feel safe. Then I'd remember the texts, the lies, the betrayal, and the warmth in me would ice over instantly. I wasn't in love anymore. I was done. So Thursday night came. I packed a bag, kissed him goodbye like the good little girlfriend I'd been pretending to be, and drove away. He even helped carry my bag to the car and told me he'd miss me. Meanwhile, I drove around the block, parked for 20 minutes, and then rolled up to Sally's with snacks, wine, and enough rage to power a small country. We set up what can only be described as a cheating surveillance command center. And right on cue, 7:30 p.m., the doorbell camera pinged. There she was. Dina. Looking like she was auditioning for Mistress of the Year, overnight bag in one hand and wine bottle in the other. Harrison opened the door and kissed her, outside, in full view of the camera, like we were in a low-budget reality show. They even joked about finally having the place to themselves. I recorded everything. Crystal clear audio. Video. Them cuddling on the balcony. Ordering food. Playing house in my home. At one point, Sally's brother and I even pulled off a mini heist, climbed the fire escape to set up an old phone pointing into our bedroom window through the half-open curtains. And oh yeah, we got proof. The next morning, while Harrison was off at work, I stormed the apartment with a 3-hour window to clear out my life. With Sally and her brothers helping, we grabbed only what was indisputably mine: clothes, heirlooms, sentimental stuff. No joint furniture, no gray areas. Before leaving, I staged the scene, my key on the counter, a packet of evidence, and a few screenshots just to twist the knife. The recordings I kept for myself. Then I blocked Harrison on everything: phone, socials, Venmo, even Spotify. If he thinks he's getting access to my playlists, he's delusional. I notified friends and family, vague but firm: we broke up, I need space, don't ask questions. Done. But instead of victory, I felt empty. 3 years, erased in one morning. I cried the whole way back to Sally's. Then, the emails started. Work email, because it was the one place I forgot to block him. First: Gloria, where are you? Saw your stuff gone. Call me ASAP. Then, I see the papers. This isn't what you think. Please call me. Then, we can work through this. Don't throw away 3 years over a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding. Imagine calling months of hotel meetups, deleted texts, and the jewelry store tab a misunderstanding. By evening, his emails were oscillating between desperate apologies and blaming me for invading his privacy and overreacting. When that didn't work, he started showing up: my favorite cafe, my parents' house, even Sally's apartment. Don't worry, she didn't cave. He caused such a scene at my workplace my boss nearly called security. That's when the rage hit like a freight train. I snapped. And I did the one thing I swore I'd never do. I sent the recordings to his parents. No rant. No explanation. Just: I thought you should know why Harrison and I won't be buying the house together after all. I'm sorry to send this, but you deserve the truth. Along with a private link to the footage. 10 minutes later, Harrison blew up my phone from a friend's number: how could you do this? You ruined my life. You send it to my parents? And just when he thought it couldn't get worse, I sent the same link to his boss. Not because I wanted him unemployed, but because their company has a strict no fraternization policy. And guess what? They weren't just breaking my heart, they were breaking company policy. And unlike me, HR doesn't play nice. When you hit the nuclear button on someone's life, you don't expect the aftershocks to keep rumbling for weeks. But oh boy, Harrison's meltdown was better than Netflix. So, quick edit for those thinking I went too far with the boss move. Here's the thing: Harrison had just gotten a shiny promotion, one that was supposed to go to Larry, a coworker with 3 kids and a sick wife. Guess who pushed for Harrison behind the scenes? Yup. Dina. So no, I don't regret handing HR a front row seat to their little office fling. And Harrison? By 2 a.m. the night I exposed him, I had 51 messages from unknown numbers. Translation: he was borrowing friends' phones to dodge my block. They ranged from "I love you more than anything" to "You've ruined my life" to the award-winning "You can't just disappear after 3 years and expose my personal life to everyone. Maybe try telling people the truth, champ, that you're a cheating liar with the survival skills of a soggy paper towel." By Saturday morning, Dina herself slid into my DMs, now blocked. Not apologizing, oh no. She was freaking out because HR had called her in. She blamed me for not handling things like an adult. Girl, you were screwing my boyfriend in parking lots. Sit down. By Saturday afternoon, the friend group knew. The reactions? Mixed. Half disgusted, half clutching pearls like, did you have to go that nuclear? But here's the thing about consequences: sometimes they need to be public. Harrison wasn't just betraying me, he was lying to his parents about the house, manipulating his co-workers, and planning his double life like some low-budget Bond villain. Why should I carry all the pain while he kept playing house? And then, plot twist, Harrison's mom called. She wasn't angry. She was devastated. She thanked me for telling her the truth and straight up apologized for raising such a dishonest man. Imagine your own mom hitting you with the "we'll be having a serious talk, young man," at 30. Brutal. After that, I went off the grid for 24 hours. Therapist approved self-care. When I turned my phone back on, it was like stepping back into a hurricane, messages, calls, people wanting updates. Harrison had gone from angry to begging. Suddenly it wasn't about love or explanations, it was about me please stopping the recordings from reaching anyone else. Too little, too late, my guy. Then came the unexpected part. About a week later, I ran into Harrison. Random cafe across town, chosen specifically because he'd never set foot somewhere with oat milk lattes. He looked wrecked, unshaven, thinner, eyes hollow. For a hot second, I felt satisfied. Then I felt sick. He sat down. I listened. He gave me the usual cheater script, it just happened, he never meant to hurt me, he was stressed about the house. Spare me. He admitted the recordings wrecked his life, his parents made him repay their part of the house deposit, work put him on probation, and Larry, yes, the guy with 3 kids, was now up for Harrison's old promotion. Justice served. I asked him one question, if I hadn't caught you, how long would you have kept lying? He had no answer. And that told me everything. I told him I forgave him, not for him, but for me. Because dragging around all that anger, that would only poison me. Then I walked out, leaving him sitting in his hipster nightmare with his lukewarm coffee and his hollow excuses. And that was the final chapter. Now, I've got a new studio apartment, decorated exactly how I want. I'm in therapy twice a week, best decision ever. Dina transferred back to Chicago after HR finished with her, and even she admitted Harrison had lied to her too. Harrison himself shipped off to Seattle like a busted Amazon return. His own parents still send me care packages. No, seriously, his mom mailed me cookies for my birthday. As for the house we almost bought, sold to another couple. I drove by once, saw the moving truck, and felt nothing but relief. That wasn't my life anymore. And the old birthday card I found while unpacking? The one promising many more years of adventure together. Months ago, it would have broken me. This time, I smiled, tossed it in the trash, and felt lighter than I have in years. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. It means freedom. And mine tastes like oat milk lattes, therapy receipts, and peace.